Peut-on répudier son conjoint quand quelque chose ne va plus du tout dans le couple?
Can one repudiate one's spouse when something really is wrong in the couple? In fact, when you look at the text of the gospel, you see that Jesus clearly says the repudiation is something that should not be done, and this is something that is also present in the Old Testament. I hate repudiation, says God in the book of the prophet Malachi. Here in the text in Matthew 5, it was also said, whoever divorces his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that anyone who divorces his wife, except on the ground of unchastity, causes her to commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. What is special about Jesus is that he's going to raise marriage to something unique, something that is a sacrament. It means that marriage is a sign of the way God loves us, and it must signify that. Just as in Islam, the conception that Muslims have of the love of God, where God is above and man is below, is applied to marriage, so that there can be polygamy, 4 women maximum. In Christianity, the revelation is that God loves us unconditionally and forever, even in our betrayals, and that even if we were to choose hell one day, and by chance, which is impossible since we are so freely in hell, we change our minds, then he would immediately forgive us, and he would take us back with him. God even loves the bride to choose eternal hell. That's what things mean in the spiritual sense. Applied to the marriage, it is a commandment to love one's husband or wife for better or for the worse. For better is when things are going well. The less good is when you do not get along as a couple, when you fight but there are no treasons. It is just a matter of character. At the worst is when one of them leaves and commits adultery forever. He goes with another spouse, and he obviously makes fun of his former spouse. Well, even then, there is a call to the fidelity. That said, we know it is a vocation to which Christ calls. It is a supernatural vocation, a vocation that is like religious vocation, the sacrament of marriage. Sometimes people cannot keep it up. When everything is fine, all's well. When things are not so good, the couple is fighting. For example, one's with a drunkard husband when he stopped drinking, he is full of goodwill. He promises that he will not drink again, but then he goes back to it again. Well, the church envisages a separation from time to time when it is not possible otherwise, 2 homes so as not to keep fighting like that. So the church applied things pragmatically, but it says do not divorce, separate since you do not get along. When things are the worst, that one of them has left, has betrayed, is a permanent adultery. Well, in this case, all the person who is abandoned can do is keep to the faithfulness. It is the call of Christ. It's a call of love. Imagine that the person can do it. That, for example, that there are children, the mother marries so that they have a father, or because loneliness makes her unhappy, embittered, so that she needs someone in her life. Is she liable to hell? Of course not. It's a call to love. She is no longer a sign of the way God loves. Therefore, to clearly signify this, she will no longer have access to the other sacraments, but she is saved if she recognizes that she did as she could and adopts the humble attitude of the publican. And as Pope John Paul II said, she goes to the Mass, she prays with all her heart, she does not approach the sacrament unless she goes in disposition to receive the blessing from the priest. And then she leaves blessed, because as soon as God sees a soul that is honest in the face of its own weakness, who acknowledges that they had another calling, he comes into his heart. and she spiritually receives a deep communion to the presence of Christ. So we see the gospel is a mystery of love. It's not a set of commandments dumped on mankind to crush us. If we do not live it out in love, then we have the path of humility, the essential thing being to understand the message of Jesus and to try to live it out as best we can.
L'humilité, l'essentiel étant de comprendre le message de Jésus et d'essayer de le vivre du mieux qu'on peut.